Hello, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be answering some questions both about my upcoming surgery and nursing school and some other life questions. So, we will start. Let's see, what do I start? Okay. Let's start with nursing school. How did my first year of nursing school go? It went good. Honestly, I really feel like, I've been saying that the thing that God's been teaching me the most in the last year is to trust Him. And I think that's true about my freshman year of college as well. And that my fall semester of my freshman year did not go the way I planned. I had to drop 2 classes. And it was hard. And then my sophomore year was hard. Or not sophomore year. My spring semester was hard. And so it was definitely hard, and I don't want to fake it that say that it was easy, because it wasn't easy. It was hard. But overall, I'm glad that I stuck with it. And I got this spring, I started clinicals, and it really was like, this was what I was made to do. So yeah. What was the biggest lesson I learned as a freshman? I guess just hold your plans lightly, surrender, and trust God. Make sure you're spending time with God and having a quiet time reading the Bible and spending time in prayer each day. There was a few weeks during the spring semester that I was really busy, and things started to fall to the wayside. And I could tell a huge difference in my mental and emotional state. So, yeah. What accomplishment from my freshman year am I most proud of? Let's see, what am I most proud of? I was just making it through. I stuck with it. I moved for the first time, lived in a room by myself. If you didn't know, I don't have a roommate because of all my medical needs. I joke that my roommate is all my medical equipment. So just learning how to, live in a room by yourself and keep it clean. Make sure you're not running out of soap. And balanced life, because there's nobody there's nobody there to be like, hey, you need to go to bed. Hey, do your laundry. Yeah. So, what classes am I taking this semester? Let's talk about the fall semester, not the summer semester. Summer, I took A&P 1, and then I'm wrapping up chemistry right now. But in the fall, I'll be taking A&P 2, microbiology, nursing 2000, and I believe New Testament. So, what am I most excited about for the sophomore year? So sophomore year, one, they say for Cedarville's nursing program, sophomore year is the hardest year. And sophomore year is when you learn all of your nursing skills. So like the first half of them you learn nursing 2000, and then the other half you learn 250. Nursing 2050, which you take in the spring of your sophomore year. So between those 2 classes, you learn all of your nursing skills. You spend a lot of time in nursing lab. So yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited about that. Get to learn how to put IVs in, I think, in the spring, all that good stuff. How do I stay motivated when school gets difficult? I think just remembering the end goal, remembering my why. And I think clinicals really, I'm glad that, my clinicals was, in the middle of the spring semester. And I think that was perfect timing, because it was kind of that, it reminded me of my why. And, from here on out, I'll have clinicals every semester. And it really just reminded me of, why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because God called me to be a nurse. And I really was yeah, this is what God's called me to do. I felt like this was what I was made to do. And so, yeah, that keeps me going. That's how I stay motivated, is because it's just, I want to be a nurse more than anything. And which is crazy because, like, 5 years ago, if you told me that, I would have thought you were crazy because I did not want to be a nurse for the majority of my life. But the Lord changed me, and it keeps me motivated. It keeps reminding me of my why. You know, I don't have much free time or personal time to do fun things right now, but hopefully in 3 years I'll have had graduated and be able to, be a nurse, and I'll have more free time as well. So, what advice would I give to incoming nursing students? I think, one thing that's often said is that, in nursing school, you got to make sacrifices, and lots of sacrifices. And, like I said, I don't have much free time. I don't do much. I don't have a social life. And, it is a known thing that, like, people in nursing school or med school don't have a social life and don't have free time because we're working so hard to get our degrees because they're hard. And I don't want to scare people away by saying that it's hard, because don't be scared away. But you know what? If God's called you to do this, then He will help you get through this. And yeah. So study hard. You're going to have to make sacrifices. If you don't study well, then you're not going to do well. Just because you see other people around campus partying and having fun, doesn't mean that you can. There's a ton of majors on campus, and some majors are easier than others. And also some people don't care as much about their grades and that type of thing. So, yeah, that's probably not that great of advice, but that's my advice. I'm not good at giving advice. I'm going to answer some questions about surgery. So it's my 25th surgery. Am I scared? No, I'm not. And, so I had surgery in May. That was my 24th surgery. And when I was in the waiting room, beforehand, I remember my mom be like, "Oh, are you scared? Are you nervous?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." Like, I really think, in the Bible, it talks about this peace that the Lord gives us that surpasses all understanding. And God just gives me peace. And, when you lean on God and you trust Him, He gives you this peace that surpasses understanding. You can have joy in hard times, and you can walk through the fire with a smile on your face. And I'm not scared, not nervous. Yeah, I've cried a lot about this surgery. And, it's one of those things, like I said, God's teaching me to trust Him. And, when you go through things like this, you realize just how much you're not trusting God. And so anyway, so in this season, God's teaching me to trust Him. And it's like, I've cried a lot about this, and it's been hard and it's been stressful. But at the same time, it's also like, I know that God has a better plan for my life, and I'm going to trust it. And, I'm not scared because I know that God already knows what's going to happen, and He's going to be holding me in His hands the whole time. I don't really want to get into details about what surgery I'm having right now, because it's a longer story, and this video is already getting long. But it is major surgery, and I will be inpatient. How long have I known that I would need this surgery? So in March was when I found out that I was going to need surgery in May. And then my surgeon was supposed to be there in May, and he wasn't. And so, so in May was when we found out that I would need another surgery. And then June was when we met with the surgeon and scheduled the surgery. So, and the surgery's in August. And if you wonder why it's so spread out, it's because I did not want to have surgery in the middle of school. So I was like, I'm not having surgery in the middle of summer school. So my May surgery was before summer school started. And this one I was like, we're not doing it till after summer school is done. How am I preparing physically and mentally? I think, I'm spending a lot of time with the Lord, a lot of time praying, and reading the Bible. And physically, I'm just keeping working out, and every time I'm working out, and for some reason this summer I've been doing a lot of like core strengthening exercises and planks, push-ups, sit-ups, all that stuff. And I'm like, half of me is like, why am I doing this? Because I know that I'm going to lose all this muscle and strength when I have surgery and get cut it into, like, because it is open abdominal surgery. But the other half of me is like, what if I keep working out and keep getting stronger, and then I have the surgery and I already have a baseline of strength, like it may not knock me down as hard. I don't know. So that's how physically I'm not really preparing, which is not really much you can do. Mentally, it's not prepared. What prayers or encouragement would I appreciate from viewers? Honestly, I've thought about this a lot. And so this is my 25th surgery, and there's going to be 2 videos coming out the day before the surgery. Go watch those videos. And what I've thought about, so this is my 25th surgery, and if somebody asks me how they can pray for me for the surgery, honestly, I'm going to tell them, pray for my parents. Because like my dad and my brother are going to be in Ohio, because the day of my surgery is the day that Matt and I were supposed to move back to Ohio to our dorms. And so my dad will be moving my stuff into my dorm and moving Matt into his dorm. So they'll be in Ohio. My mom will be in the waiting room by herself. I'm pretty sure it'll be a long surgery. And she's sat there 25 times. This will be the 25th surgery for me. The 36th time that either of her kids have had surgery, and I know that probably 20 years ago when she had me, I don't think she was thinking about this. I don't think 20 years ago she ever imagined that she would be in hospitals and waiting rooms this much. And I know that it is probably really hard on my parents, both us. And then also the aspect of like, she's missing getting to move her son into his 4th year of college. Wait, is it his 4th year? Yeah, it's his 4th year. I don't know. His 4th year. Yeah, it's my 2nd year, so it's his 4th year. So she's missing getting to move her son into his 4th year of college. And my dad and my brother are several states away from me, my mom, and it's just, it'll be a lot that's going on. And just pray for my parents and my brother. And I know that my brother's gonna be worried and distracted trying to think about me, and he needs to be focused on what he's doing. So yeah, if you want to pray and know how if nobody's asked me how they can pray for the surgery for me, but if they were to, that's the answer I would give them, is pray for my parents. Let's answer a couple more questions. That's about it. Okay. Alright, balancing both. So how are you preparing for surgery while also getting ready for school? I am having to think a lot ahead of things. So like I said, when I'm having surgery, my brother or my dad will be moving my stuff into my dorm for me, because we don't know when I'll be getting to Cedarville. Hopefully I'll be getting there before classes start, but we don't know how long I'll be in the hospital for. And we know for a fact that when I do get to Cedarville, I will need help with everything, guys. And the hard thing is that I live in a room by myself. So hopefully the girls in the room next door to me are nice and help me out, because I need help do my laundry. Hopefully I can get myself dressed and get my shoes on by myself, but I don't even know if I'll be able to do that. and it's just hopefully I can get myself in and out of bed by myself. I don't know. So I'm gonna need help with a lot, with everything. And that's another thing is that I think, the Lord is using this to teach me. I don't say to humble me, but like teach me to, ask for help. And yeah, I'm a very extreme introvert and I don't interact with people much. And so I think this is like God being like, you need to ask people for help. But anyway, so I'm gonna be having. So I have 1 week in between when my summer school ends and when I have my surgery / when I move back to Seattle. I'll say what I'm not moving back that day. I was supposed to, but my stuff has to be packed by then. So that week I will be packing my stuff so that everything's all packed for Cedarville, so that my brother and my dad can take all my stuff to Ohio. So that's one way I'm preparing for surgery, but also getting ready for school, is that I am having to look ahead of things. And it's like, I just ordered last week I ordered my books. This week they came in the mail type thing. Like, it's like, I'm not waiting the last minute for some of these things because it's like, I gotta get it now. Because, yeah. And it's just, yeah. So, okay. So will my recovery affect the beginning of the semester? Yes. Hopefully, like, we know with my body always takes longer to recover than most people, and it's harder on my body, and I'm always in a lot more pain than the majority of people, like the average person. And usually when I'm recovering from surgery, I'm able to just be in bed or in the couch for a week or months, and be able to take it slow. This is different though, because I will be literally going straight from the hospital to Ohio, maybe coming back here for 24 hours max, and then going to Ohio. And like I said, hopefully I can get there before classes start, but we have no clue how long I'll be in the hospital for. So it's like, yeah, hopefully I can have a good recovery. We can get a good pain management plan because like I said, I'll be asking a lot of people for help with everything. Not be able to do much. And it's like, yeah, so yes, my recovery will affect the beginning of my semester. Thankfully, clinicals don't start till mid-September, so I don't have to worry about that, but I am worried about nursing lab because that's physical. And I most probably won't be able to work out or exercise for a while, but I will have to be walking around campus. And so, yeah, it's gonna be rough. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm trying not to think about that. All right, what is my biggest concerns about balancing my health and academics? Just like, it's hard because professors don't care if you're in pain. You still gotta get your stuff done. And so, balancing health and academics, like, I've struggled a lot in college because of all my health challenges. And it's just, I have different medical accommodations in place, and academic accommodations in place, but it's still also like, hopefully the professors are nice and compassionate and caring. Okay, what have I learned about asking for help when I need it? I will come back to that later. Okay, I gotta learn how to ask for help. Now that's what I'm gonna learn about this semester. Alright, personal questions. How has my faith influenced the season of my life? So, in this season of my life, I really feel like God's teaching me to trust Him. God's teaching me that to hold plans loosely, and that His purposes will prevail. And so I feel like, in this season of my life, God and my faith is influencing the season, as in teaching me to trust God in a different way and more deeply. Yeah. All right, let me wrap up. Okay, so wrapping up. Okay, so one last question. What kind of videos can viewers expect over the next few months? Like I said, there is 2 videos that are scheduled to get released the day before my surgery. Go watch them. I worked hard on those videos. They've been scheduled to go out for a long time. Like I said in my bio of my channel, I don't want to give like, oh yeah, I'll post this frequency, because my priority is school and passing each semester in every class for nursing school. That is my priority. And so, while yes, I do want to, be able to share nursing school life and bring awareness to different medical conditions, etc., etc., my priority is school. So this channel could go months without having something posted, or it could have a bunch of videos posted close together. And there's different videos that I have thought about. Oh, I want to make a video talking about this subject or that subject, but it's finding the time to record it. And I don't edit my videos. I post them how they are. I'm very simple with this. I record it either on my phone or on my computer, and then I just post. The majority of the work that I do is just to make a thumbnail and write the description of the video type thing. Which chat helps me a lot with those. So, but you can subscribe, and then you won't miss a video, and go watch a video. And I posted a video last week. I think last week, yeah. And a lot of these videos I schedule to post on a certain date. It's not like I wake up that day and post them. Yeah. Also, you might know that I ran a race last year, fundraiser race, last October. My crazy ambitious goal is to be able to do it again this October. If I do it, it'd be like 8 weeks of my surgery. So, when I have my surgery, I will talk to the surgeon and see if he thinks that I could walk 5K 8 weeks after surgery. And if so, then I will launch that campaign and try to do a fundraiser again. If not, then that won't happen. But stay tuned for that. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching. I hope you stayed to the end of the video and watched it all. If there is any subjects you want me to address or make a video talking about, whether it's feeding tube life, chronic illness life, how I balance life, nursing school life, whatever you think you want to watch a video on, make a comment on the video, and I try to look at the comments occasionally when I have time. So, have a nice day. Goodbye.